everybody, welcome to another video. We're going to talk about this time about technology in the classroom. Technology in the classroom is very important, especially nowadays. So for this assignment, I had to interview 3 teachers that work with me, asking them how do they use technology in their classrooms. I asked 10 different questions, so I'm going to go through them, and I also looked at one of their lesson plans about technology. So we're going to analyze it, see using the standards for educators in technology, and we're going to see what they did, get some ideas and learn from it. Let's go. We're back in my classroom and we're ready to have a look at the questions that I asked my 3 friends and what they answered. It's really good to see that they use technology every day in their classroom. The 3 of them use technology every day, and they all use the same devices. Basically, they use iPads, laptops, and our interactive whiteboard. We all have this. And we also have this Apple TV, very useful when we work with the children with iPads. I asked them to describe an icebreaker using technology, which is very important nowadays. So one of them said, silly selfies. I find it very, very good to use next year when I start the year. So they can use silly selfies to talk about themselves. Telegami is a very good app. It is you can change the character, you can choose the outfit for the character, you can choose their hair color, everything. And then you can record your voice. So the character can talk about yourself instead of you, which is very useful for the children who are struggling in speaking in public or when they're not very confident in their English. So this one is really good. And the other teacher uses YouTube, Kahoot, Quiz, and Study Ladder. For this, the school pays a membership for Study Ladder and for Times Table Rockstars. So we all have our passwords and we can track what the children are doing, to track their progress and how often are they logging in. So that's very good. And for question 4, I asked them how were the children solving problems when using technology. And one of them said that he was asking them to go to another website to verify that the information they were researching was true, which I found it very useful. I've never thought about this before. And also, they can use iPads to translate when they're not understanding what's going on. They can ask questions to see if they're understanding what the assignment is. For question 5, I wanted them to explain how they were checking how their children were understanding. So the first one explained that he uses the Apple TV in class, which is the one I showed you at the beginning. So the Apple TV is very useful because you can model what you're doing to your students, but also if one of your students is not sure or you want to see what they're doing, you can ask them to type the code that is displayed on the board, and then you can see what they are doing. And we can all learn from that. The second person said that they follow the agreements about technology. They all wrote some agreements at the beginning of the year. They took these agreements home and then the parents signed them. And the third one also referred to safeguarding. So she mentioned that they use the technology policy to check what is expected from them. Okay, number 6, I wanted to know how they were getting involved, or how were they planning this lesson using the adults they had in class, like the TA or other support that you sometimes get in class. And they said that they get together with them beforehand and they discuss what the lesson was going to be about and making sure that everyone knows how to work the devices and the technology that is going to be used in class. Number 7, very interesting question, how to differentiate when using technology. The first teacher said that it's very difficult to differentiate when you're using the same program. But if you're using, for example, Excel, you can ask them to do different types of charts according to their ability. The second teacher said that differentiated by task, and the third one also differentiates by tasks, but outcome, tools, programs, different things according to the children's ability. Number 8 is very important. It's about internet safety. So I wanted to know, apart from the policy that the school has, what other things they use. But they mentioned the agreements that we have in the classroom, which I'll show you mine in a minute. But there's also the Internet Safety Week, where you can talk about these topics with the children. You have different videos, internet safety lessons. There's Actors World, which I'm going to research about it because I didn't know about this one. This other teacher uses the well-being sessions to talk about internet safety. So I'm going to show you my agreements with my children. This is the user policy for iPads and laptops when we use technology here in my class. So my children got in small groups to write what things are very important to keep in mind when using technology. So this is mine. And this is the year 2 one. I also wanted to know if they were going to develop collaborative skills between the children when using technology in a lesson. And they have lots of opportunities to develop this skill. So they can have the same project and work together. They can research. They can use Telegami, the app that I explained before, to work as a group and then present one thing. OneNote is really good. PowerPoint as well, or making movies together. And the last question I asked was also about developing a skill, but this time it's creativity. How can we develop creativity in a class using technology? And there are lots of programs and apps that we can use for this, like Keynote, PowerPoint. It was mentioned here, Paint, 3D softwares, PowerPoint again, Poplet, and with the 10 Stable Rockstars, you can create your own avatar. So there are many opportunities for them to become very creative. So this is one of the lesson plans that I got from one of my friends. So I'm going to go through it and analyze it with you. So the learning objective is to write about a book character. So it was book day that day. The children were going to use Morphoboot, which is an app, and they were going to take a selfie with it. Then they can change some things, change the background, and they can record their voice. The idea for them was to talk about their favorite book character, which they were already dressed up as their favorite book character. So they were just supposed to explain who they were, what story were they in, and then play it to a friend. Then they had to write about it into their books. And the activity here was differentiated, the writing one. So I've written some things analyzing this lesson plan. And I think it develops creativity and allows children to work independently and with a partner, because it gives them the opportunity to sit down, take their selfie, enjoy a little bit the app, be creative using colors, changing the background, but also they get with a friend to talk about it and listen to their friend's recording, and then give each other's feedback, laugh a little bit, enjoy the book day. I think it was also a great use of a new app, because Telegami wouldn't be using their face. It will be a different character that they can pick from the app. But this one was them, because it was their selfie wearing their costume. So it gave them the opportunity to use their own faces to create a new character, which was amazing. The other thing I found is they can use different language skills, because they were using speaking when they were recording their voices, they were listening to their friends' recording, and they were also writing into their book. So many English skills were developed in this single lesson. Children will still learn in a proper literacy lesson, even though it was book day and they were dressed up. So sometimes those days are more relaxing, but in this literacy class they were still doing some proper work and learning from it, which was really good. The writing part was differentiated, as I mentioned before, but not the learning part, which was the use of the app. And I think it is not clear how the teacher will differentiate the use of technology in this case. And also it's not clear if the teacher modeled how to use the app and what was expected from them. It's not very clear just by reading the lesson plan. Maybe the teacher knew what was going to happen, but it was not very clear when this person wrote it. Sorry about that, guys. It is well described how the teacher and the TA will support the starter, which was a game about past tenses. But after that, it is not clear how the TA and the teacher will support the different groups in the class. I would suggest for them to have a record of what they did in the learning part, to download the video that they made, get a link, and also get a QR code so they can glue that QR code into their books and have a look at this video whenever they want. They can scan it with an iPad and then have a look at it. So that's something that I would recommend. And the plenary is not fun at all. The plenary is just to get on the carpet and to share their writing. So I think the plenary can add some technology as well. So maybe the teacher can use a PowerPoint about book day, or a video on YouTube just about what book day is, why do we celebrate it, and things like that. I hope you have enjoyed learning about learning from this lesson plan that I got from one of my colleagues. I did. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.